We're good to go.
It's definitely top speed. We're almost at 50!
Welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. Here we have one of the coolest Hondas that ever existed. I've said that before about the Honda Raccoon, but this is a twist and go, so it's a different category. But this is the Honda Squash. It is a 50cc twist and go. It's got some cool features. The model, if you're into the Honda model numbers, I think this is the AB11. And if you search Honda AB11 or Honda Squash, you'll see a whole bunch of info. So as you can see, we've got a CVT transmission. Some of the earlier variators didn't have a lot of movement, and so they kind of couldn't be modified in the aftermarket as much as the later Honda Dio engines could. The 50cc twist and go, it's a two-stroke, and probably putting out about 3 horsepower, 2.5, 3 horsepower. You've got a carburetor hidden behind this wonderful airbox that is a stock design. And just honestly, it's like a whole aesthetic for the bike. If it wasn't there, it would feel quite odd to look at. It has an oil tank and a fuel tank, so it's self-mixing, and it does even have an electric start. So this is the other side of the engine, and as you can see, you've got the head up there, and that's where your spark plug goes. So it's kind of like a vertical orientation. Right underneath the engine as well, it's connected to the center stand, so the center stand holds this bike up off the ground. Tiny little pipe that I couldn't even put my pinky finger in, but it does the job. Wheels. Now I first looked at these and thought, oh nice, 10 inch, but of course not, they're 8, they're tiny. So it's a 3 by 8 inch tyre. It's a Dunlop on the front. Little tri-spoke with tiny little drum brakes in there. So it does have stopping power, but yeah, it's not a huge amount. However, it's more than enough for the amount of power the engine puts out. We also have a Dunlop 3 by 8, so the same tyres front and rear. You can see the prominent 3-spoke design a bit more on this side here. But basic little wheels. This whole thing is incredibly compact. I don't think you could fit a 3.5 by 8. You're really, like, you've got a thumb width of room there between the exhaust and the rear tyre. Controls on this thing are incredibly basic. You've just got a high and low. You've got your turn signal. You've also got your horn. One cool thing is the brake actually has a lock, or a parking brake lock. So you can lock the rear brake on, as I have here. And you just pull that in, and then it releases. So if you want to put it on the center stand and then put this on for a little bit of added safety, it's a cool little feature. On this switch we have lights on and lights off. I've also got an electric start button here as well. The speedometer is, once again, on these little 50cc scooters that were designed for urban Japanese areas. You've got red all the way from 30 to 50. However, it probably can go a little bit faster than 30. What this is referring to is the laws that say if you have a 50cc scooter in Japan, don't go faster than 30. The speed light will probably come on at that point as well. We've also got a kickstart on the side here as well as the electric start, so it's another way for backup starting if your battery goes flat. As far as weird things about this or modifications, I mean, there's no real modifications. It is entirely stock, but they did come out with a couple of weird features depending on the year that they were made. Some of them had a folding handlebar, which this one does not, and the handlebar could completely fold down, therefore this thing was literally knee height. If I kind of film down on the right angle, you can see there's my knee, there's the bottom of the seat. So it's a really low, and I'm not even 6 foot tall, so it's a pretty short little scooter there, and with the folding handlebars, you know, you can easily chuck it into the back of a station wagon or a pickup truck or anything like that. You've got your fuel tank here. This is a cool little feature here. If you kind of move it back and forward, you can see that it's moving. So that's your fuel gauge. So if you want to know how much fuel you got, you just lift the seat and have a look. This is the kind of bike that you would kind of get used to how much fuel you can use on a tank distance-wise. And I guess you'd only check that when you really need to. You've also got an oil tank up here as well. So fuel and oil are separate, and then they mix together to go into the engine down here. Your battery's right there hidden in the back, and they were so generous enough to give you a little bit of storage there as well. So you could almost fit a spare battery, but you could put a couple of tools under there if you really wanted to. The seat is literally just secured by those basic little suction cups there. So when we put that down, that's it. Time to hear some absolute power. Key, we switch it on. You've got an electric start button here, but I imagine that I'll need to pull the brake on. I was correct. Oops. Fuel tap. We're good to go. Take 2. The wheel is touching the ground, so I'm only going to give it a little bit of a... I don't really want to be doing giant skids on this lawn. I could go like that. So yeah, a very typical 50cc two-stroke. A little bit of smoke coming out the back, which is as per normal because it's mixing the oil at the moment. But it's a quiet little machine. Got a couple of little rattles here and there, but it's enough. It's more than you'd need to jump on and go down to your local shop. This is about the size we're looking at here. So your average dude that's 5'10", hello, that's me, and weighs a little bit too much, hello, that's me. This is what you look like on one of these, but it will still go. It will still do its job.
This is hilarious. I wish you could see me from the outside right now. Very slow over the railway tracks. What I'll do is we'll get our speed test happening, eh? See what we can achieve. Alright, I need the biggest run up I can get, so we'll go back to here and then we'll go from here and let's go! Oh, I'm tucked. I'm sitting on the rack. Does it have a rack or is that tail light? I don't know. 40! Oh my god, the wheels are small. 45! Ah! Woo! We stopped accelerating. This is about all we got. I'll lean over more. Maybe we'll get another K. I can't see where I'm going though. I need to be really careful. I can't stay straight. Woo! It's definitely top speed. We're almost at 50! Woo! Oh my gosh. Let's go check how fast that was. 47.1! Get out of town. That makes sense. We barely hit the 50 mark, or that last line before the 50, and that's 47.1. So, I mean, it's not meant to go super fast. This is meant to go up and down a small Japanese street and go get some stuff from the shop. This handle I forgot to mention as well, by the way. It's very cool. Looks like it's just come from some Honda car of the same era. So if you own a 1980 something Honda and it's got that handle, let us know what it came from. Check this out. This is how long it takes to get to 30 from me accelerating. Ready? Stopped and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey! 8 seconds. Anyway, I'm having the time of my life. This is one of the coolest scooters I've ever ridden. The Honda Squash. Almost called it a Yamaha. It looks the part. It feels the part. That's how it makes me feel. Stoked. We'll see you next time on Small Bike Stuff.